Hello everybody, good morning and welcome to That's Football. Well, the plot thickens with Mikel Arteta and his goalkeeper situation. Is he a genius or is he foolish? Because I can't believe what he said after the game yesterday. It was a big decision to drop Aaron Ramsdale. It certainly split the Arsenal fan base and the world of football is talking about it. So get your comments in below. I'll set the scene, but is Arteta right? Has he seen something that's going to be new and innovative and creative? Or is he foolish to think that you can do what he wants to do with goalkeepers apparently? Or is he just bluffing? So, this is what he said after the game. Mikel Arteta was asked about the David Raya Ramsdale situation. Ramsdale has been a good servant for Arsenal. He's well liked. I think he should be England #1. But Arteta bought David Raya in. And when he did that, looking at the history of football and how goalkeepers work, for me, that was a massive indication that Raya would be the #1. Well, Mikel Arteta, after the game yesterday, said this. There was a couple of occasions last season around the 60, 70th minute mark where I wanted to change my goalkeeper, but I didn't have the courage to do it. We were playing in a way where I wanted to hold on to what we've got, and I did go to a back five, but I wanted to change my goalkeeper and I didn't do it. This is going to happen in football. You're going to see this happen more and more. And it's a hint of what Arteta wants to do. So, look, logically, you can play a 4-4-2 and you can go to a back five with 20 minutes to go to hold on to what you've got. Can you start changing your goalkeeper with 20 minutes to go? I'm amazed by this. I'm amazed by this. You've always got to be open to change. And, you know, a lot of people laugh at change and then it becomes the norm. But I've just spent the morning doing the football filling with Ben Foster and Watto, both goalkeepers. Both England. Ben Foster's played for England. Watto was the England goalkeeping coach. So they know goalkeeping. I've played football throughout my life. I've watched football throughout my life like many of you. Speaking to them, in my own opinion, I don't think this is a good idea. Because, look, I like Arteta, but this is probably one of the first times I've said, this has got to be a big bluff. I think it's a bluff. I think he's going to go with David Raya, but he's obviously not going to say publicly that yet because he's got to see whether Raya's the right guy. But I personally think it's ridiculous to have two very good goalkeepers anyway. And I think Ramsdale should be England #1, but I prefer Raya. So I would go with Raya over Ramsdale. Get in the comments. What would you do and why? Love to read your comments. Love to see what you've got to say. But I would never, ever, ever be on board, whether as a coach or a fan of a club, with having two goalkeepers that are really good. We did it at United with De Gea and Henderson. Ollie tried it, and you'd expect that of Ollie because he wasn't a good coach. Chelsea did it with Mendy and Kepa. Didn't work. And it's not. I don't think it'll work with Arsenal because my big issue is that if you've got Raya and Ramsdale, the goalkeeper wants to be #1. It says #1 on their shirt. They want to be #1 and they want to know that they are the manager's #1. Because goalkeepers make mistakes. They'll come for a cross, miss it, and a goal will go in. They'll dive, they'll miss it, and they should have saved it and it will go in. But they know that they've got the confidence of the manager and the manager will say, you're my #1. If you've got two really good goalkeepers, both who deserve to play, and Ramsdale and Raya are both good enough to play in the Premier League easily. If Raya makes a mistake, then Ramsdale's going to be looking at Arteta and going, hold on, he's making a mistake, I should play. And then Ramsdale gets the spot, makes a mistake, and then Raya's saying, I should play. You've got to have a #1. Goalkeeping is about confidence and mentality. You know, it's a lonely place being a goalkeeper, and you need support. And I think that Ramsdale's confidence at the moment will be rocked, and Raya will feel confident. But Arteta can't be going, you've made a bit of a mistake there, so I'm going to put Ramsdale back in goal. And also, Arteta is the manager of Arsenal, but who's the most important people at Arsenal? The fans. And the fans, I don't think the fans are ready for this. I don't think any football fans are ready for two brilliant goalkeepers that rotate based on mistakes. And I tell you what they're not ready for. And this is what I'm talking about with Arteta. I can't believe he's come out and publicly said there was a couple of times last year where he wasn't brave enough to change his goalkeeper. I was speaking to Ben Foster about this, but, you know, I would have said this myself anyway. Goalkeepers go through quite a big, rigorous warm-up. They do. They are throwing their bodies on the floor. Players don't do that unless they're diving, you know, so only Ashley Young needs to warm up for that. Or Bruno, I'll be fair. But the reality is, no, Bruno's not a diver. He needs more penalties. But like goalkeepers, there's a lot of physicality to being a goalkeeper. You get barged. You've got to dive in the bottom corner. You've got to reach up and catch a ball. You know, bottom corner shots. You've got to be sharp. Ball to you. You've got to be warmed up. I can't think of anything worse for Man United to do. Imagine Man United had Onana and De Gea still, right? De Gea plays for 70 minutes, right? No, it'd be the other way round, wouldn't it? You'd have Onana in goal for 70 minutes. You're 1-0 up against Man City at the Etihad, right? You've played your expansive football. You've played a higher line. You're 70 minutes. You're 1-0 up. And then you do what Arteta's hinted he wants to do. You take Onana off and you bring De Gea on because he's a better shot stopper, right? I can't think of anything worse. I'm going to take Onana off who's warmed up and focused and in the moment. And I'm going to take a guy that's been sat on the bench for 70 minutes. All right, I might have done a few shuttle runs, but he can't be doing... The thing about a player is a player can run up and down the touchline. They can do some twists and turns. All they've got to worry about is getting a feel for the ball, pass, shoot, etc. A goalkeeper, there's no area for a goalkeeper to be practicing shots or practicing crosses. So they've sat on their arse for 70 minutes. All right, they've done a few shuttle runs, a few twists and shouts, but you throw them on with 20 minutes to go at the Etihad because you want a better shot stopper or a better goalkeeper in the air. And then they come on and Man City are 3-1 up in 10 minutes because your keeper's not warmed up. I don't believe that Arteta genuinely thinks this is a good idea. And I don't believe that this will be a thing that takes off. I've worked in plenty of jobs in my life where people come up with ideas and people sort of go, that's a good idea. Let's put that in the cupboard for later. And what they mean is it's a shit idea and we're never going to use that. There are some good ideas and evolution in football will always happen. But I can't see it becoming the norm where goalkeepers are being replaced after 70 minutes. Now, if a goalkeeper's playing crap and it's 0-0 and they've hit the post 3 times and their bad finishing hasn't scored, then maybe you replace your goalkeeper. But I don't see tactical goalkeeping changes being the way forward. This is really interesting, though. And look, I love football, but I admire Arteta for being, well, hopefully honest. But genius or foolish, I would have to go with foolish on this. I don't know. Get in the comments, let me know what you think. But I think it would be foolish to be replacing your goalkeeper in the 70th minute. It's not the same as going to a defensive formation. Goalkeeping is so much about confidence and mentality and being warmed up. And what about the goalkeeper that gets taken off after 70 minutes? Goalkeepers take massive responsibility. I mean, it'd be great for FPL. Great for FPL, you've got your clean sheet. But goalkeepers take massive responsibility for the whole 90 minutes. They want a clean sheet that's for the full 90 minutes. They want a role in the whole game. And I don't see this taking off. And the scary thing is, if Arteta tries to do this, and it might work. Maybe he takes Raya off and brings Ramsdale on a couple of games and they win and everyone goes, Arteta's a genius. He's a genius until it goes wrong, and it will go wrong because I don't see how it works. I don't think you need 2 goalkeepers that are that good. You need a really good goalkeeper, and you need a goalkeeper that's happy to be the cup goalkeeper or play if you get an injury. You don't need 2 great goalkeepers. Now, the interesting thing is, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe when he bought Raya in, he's not bringing Raya in as number 1. He's bringing Raya in to do this. You play tomorrow, you play next week, you play 70 minutes, you play 20 minutes. Maybe that's what Arteta's trying to do. Maybe he's trying to evolve football. But I don't think there'll be a rush of clubs following him this. I don't think Pep Guardiola's going to go, Edison, I'm just going to go and buy a really top goalkeeper and take you off on the 70th minutes. I don't think Jurgen Klopp would ever do this with Alisson. And that's where I'm at with this. Would Klopp do it with Alisson? Absolutely not. Not in a million years. You're not going to undermine your goalkeeper in that way because of a different style of play. The problem is, buy the goalkeeper that does everything. You don't need to take Alisson off in the 70th minute because you want to park the bus. He's a brilliant goalkeeper. So I'm going to say this. I think Arteta's bluffing. I think he's encouraging Ramsdale. He's creating a competitive environment. I don't think we're going to see Arsenal subbing a goalkeeper off in the 70th minute. And I don't think he's going to be playing Raya one week and then Ramsdale the next. I might be completely wrong, and I'd be worried if I was an Arsenal fan, if I am wrong. I think Raya's his number 1. And I think that's what's going to happen here. And I also think, if that is the case, I don't think Ramsdale will be happy to be a number 2 either, which is probably why Arteta's doing this. But we have to acknowledge what he said publicly, and Arteta might be about to blow the bloody doors off on the established way to have a number one goalkeeper and an established number two. Get your comments in below. It's a fascinating conversation. I'm interested to see what you've got to think. Make sure you smash a like on the video and subscribe. I'll speak to you on the next one.